Hi friends, welcome to Making All the Plans. As we head into 2026, I'm taking a fresh look at my planner system. Some things are working great, but there are definitely some areas that need tweaking. Today, I'm evaluating my current setup and showing you what changes I'm making for the new year. But let's dive right into this planner stack. That's a little overwhelming, I'm not going to lie. However, to be honest, the majority of it didn't get used. But the easiest place to start is probably at the very top of the stack. This top item is my 1 line a day planner, notebook, journal, whatever you want to call it. And I have reached my 5th year. I'm about to wrap this one up. I do have another one waiting in the wings. I'll have to perform a little bit of surgery on it in order to make it work. My daughter did use it for about 5 days, so I just need to go in and clean that up so that I can start fresh in the new year. But I didn't see the point of buying a new one. I figured just using what I had would be the best solution. But it is definitely something that I will be carrying forward into the new year. Next up is a dot grid journal that I thought that I would love playing in. And to be honest, who had the time this year? It was crazy. I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. I did decorate a few pages and start journaling a little bit. I just wanted to use this for jotting down anything that came to mind that I didn't want to forget. They may or may not be hidden in my scrapbooks already, but they're memories and stories that I don't necessarily want to forget, and that's what I wanted to use this journal for. However, as I mentioned, I didn't have much time to do any of that this year. We'll hold on to this notebook, but it will not be part of my lineup for this year. Then I bought another dot grid journal, and I bought this one to play in because I didn't want to mess the first one up. I wanted to actually save that for memories and any of the other fun things that I wanted to do, put quotes in it, things like that. So I really wanted to have this for fun and no stress, but guess what? I didn't use it either because time is my problem right now. I don't have time to create or play or any of the things as much as I would like to. So again, this will not get thrown away. Someday I hope to be able to use it. If I do get creative and have a little bit of time, I will grab this notebook. But again, for now, it is just being retired for the time being. So all of these journals are looking very similar, but this one I actually did use a little bit. This is for my tarot readings. I do like to journal about them a little bit. I do not do this regularly, but when I do like to write them down. I also have been tracking my dreams in here. So although it has not been used regularly, I do plan on keeping this in my planner lineup. This lavender leuchtturm has been used to house all of my HB90 planning, my goal setting, all of those things throughout this year. This is my second one of these, and I do love this notebook. I will carry this forward to next year. I'll have to start a new one, but that's okay. I've already bought another one. I do like to keep them all the same color so that I can remember that they are all the same thing. I do need to figure out how to label the spines so I don't get the years confused. However, I don't think that will be a problem. I think I will be changing up my goal setting system slightly for next year, but I still want somewhere to set up my vision, plan my goals and projects, break down all of those tasks, and do quarterly and yearly check-ins. So I will go ahead and finish up Q4 in this notebook, and then I will switch to a brand new, again, lavender colored leuchtturm for 2026. I will skip my Hobonichi Cousin for just a minute and go to this pink tulle notebook. I purchased this notebook, I think a year or so ago from Office Max or Office Depot, and I really do like this brand. Unfortunately, they don't have very many options. I think there's a pink option and a navy blue option maybe, and I don't even know if those are available in the letter size anymore. I do love how professional it looks, as well as the color. So I will continue to use this, but this holds all of my work notes, any meeting notes, any upcoming dates, any handouts, anything like that. I was not loving carrying my planner around with me and it getting thicker and thicker, so I did decide to break out my work notes separately. Next up is just an inexpensive one subject graph ruled notebook. that I love to use. If I could only have one planner item, this would be it. I use this when my weekly planner is not working or I haven't had time to do weekly planning. I use this to write out my days sometimes, make random lists. Anything that I want to do that I don't want to worry about being pretty also goes in this. I call this my cheapest planner, but a lot of people refer to it as a junk notebook, a scribble notebook, but I just like to have some place that I can go where I don't have to worry about making things pretty, although sometimes I still do, or have the pressure of messing up a bound notebook. So this will definitely stay in my planner lineup. However, I do always have a backup available. I buy a few at back to school time since they're the least expensive at that time, but they are my favorite. I love the green also. They do come in other colors, but if you're wondering why I always have green, it's because that's my favorite color. So I try to buy the green. It just makes me happy. So these last two items are my planner and the Hobonichi Cousin, and they really are the guts of my planning system. I really tried to keep it all in one place, but I really like a letter size for my monthly plans and my weekly plans. However, I do not like to have that much real estate for my daily plan. I also do not like to put more than one day on a daily plan because I like to be able to move on to the next day and not worry about what it says the previous day. So for my Hobonichi Cousin, I have tried to use the monthly and weekly pages, and they don't really work for me. They don't bring me joy. They're kind of a pain for me. There just isn't enough room. Once in a while, I will use the weekly pages, but I never refer back to the monthly pages at all. I have tried to decorate them. I have tried to use them. They just don't work for me. Occasionally, I will use the weekly spreads just to put lists down, but I could live without those as well. Really, the bread and butter for me has been those daily pages. And just a little note, I do use an older Hobonichi Cousin, so I have to redate everything that I use. I do not use it every day, so there are plenty of pages that are still left. And then there are times where I use 2 pages for a single day, where on the left I do a schedule and the tasks that I need to complete. And then on the right, I write notes for myself or do a little future planning. I do write all of my plans in my Hobonichi Cousin, so that includes my work items. So I especially do that 2 spread for a day when there's a long weekend coming up or something like that, where I need to write down those items that I was in process of working on at work so that I remember what I was doing and can pick them up when we come back the following week. I also tend to do brain dumps in my Hobonichi Cousin. I'm not sure why, but I love them living in my Hobonichi Cousin. I also love how portable my Hobonichi Cousin is, and I've even played around with putting my work notes in my Hobonichi Cousin instead of in that separate notebook. So maybe by next year, that separate notebook will be gone, but for now, I will keep that separate notebook and continue to play around with this Hobonichi Cousin and figure out how best it works for me. So this year I did buy an expired Hobonichi Cousin again. I bought the 2025 version for 2026. I do not mind whiting out the day pages. This year, instead of putting the tabs in ahead of time, however, I am just going to work through the planner, and when I get to February, I'll put the February tab in. When I get to March, I'll put the March tab in. And that way, if I don't use all the pages for that particular month, I will just move that tab up, or if I use more pages, I'll move that tab back further. The other thing that I did buy was this Hobonichi Techo graph notebook, and I'm thinking about using this instead of a Hobonichi Cousin or when my Hobonichi Cousin pages run out. The reason why I'm leaning towards the Hobonichi Cousin, however, is I just like how chunky it is. So I will probably start with the Hobonichi Cousin, but I will keep in mind that I do have these other notebooks if for some reason I decide that the Cousin doesn't work anymore. I have pulled together just a variety of resources that work best for me. I also change it up throughout the year if I'm getting sick of layouts or I just need something a little different to make that period of life work a little better for me. So what I used last year were metal discs from the Happy Planner, a Martha Stewart cover. Then I do have these clear tabs. If I can still find them, I'll link them down below, but I cannot remember where they're from. And then a lot of pages that I've made myself. I bought quite a few things from Squared Plans off of Etsy. I have some freebies from Passion Planner in my planner as well. But the current setup that I have right now is definitely working for me, and I don't feel the need to change it. So right now my monthly plan is in here, my weekly plan is in here, and then when I sit down each morning to plan out my day, that is normally when I get my Hobonichi Cousin out, and then I transfer all of the tasks that I want to complete for the day into that day in the Hobonichi Cousin. And I think we'll start walking through this a little bit now that I feel like it is a system that is working. I'm always afraid to share things that I'm not sure if they will work or not, because if I can't get them to work for me, I don't want you to try to get them to work for you. I would have loved to be able to make a daily page work in this planner, but I tried multiple variations. I tried 2 days on one page. Again, I didn't like that. I tried blocking out certain areas so it didn't feel like I needed to write in every space, but that didn't work for me either. I don't love a ton of white space on a daily sheet because I feel like I'm slacking. So although I've always told myself as long as I get those top 3 items done, it'll feel like a success, but I still write a million things if I have space to write them. And I'm a big believer in making your planner system work for you. So this is what's working for me right now. Again, we will talk about this and share more about how this planning system works together as we wrap up 2025 and start 2026. We will also start building the 2026 Frankenplanner together here in the next week or so. But my biggest debate for that is, do I want to continue to use the Martha Stewart cover? Do I want to switch back to the LaFleur cover, which was actually from the Happy Planner notes? Or do I want to switch to the Ocean Mist cover, which I used 2 years ago? I did order a new one of these on Black Friday because it was on deep discount, and this one is definitely showing some dirt and yuck. So I would like to get rid of this and replace it with a new one regardless, but which planner cover am I going to choose? That is the big question. So let me know in the comments down below what your planner looks like for 2026. I definitely needed to simplify a little bit, but I'm excited for setting up my system for 2026. I hope you'll join me. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Everybody have a great week.